Hey everybody, this is Pat Fink here from AskPatFink.com, and today I want to talk about recording these kind of videos. A lot of people have complimented me on these videos and asked me how I do them, so I thought I'd throw together a quick video that shows you just how it works. The software that I use to record my screens is OBS, which stands for Open Broadcast Systems. It's available for free at at obsproject.com. It runs on a Mac environment or it runs on a Windows PC environment like I use. I typically do this with two screens. It just makes it a lot easier. And I use an external camera. It's plugged into a USB port, and it just a little bit higher quality than what came with the computer. Um, and I'm going to give you a little geography of the screen that you're looking at right now. On the left-hand side, where you'll see my cursor and the circle around it, that's the preview screen, and that allows you to set up your various scenes. Um, on the right-hand side, this is the screen that the world sees. When you either push the Start Streaming button, because you can stream right to Facebook or to YouTube or to Periscope or whatever streaming service that you happen to be using. It's a little bit more complicated. So today we're just going to talk about recording. So if I hit start recording, it would start recording this screen right now. Um, there's a bit of a catch-22 here, because as I begin to show you how we do this, I'm going to disappear for a little while and you're going to be looking at a blank screen. But to continue talking about the geography of the screen here, over here on the left-hand side are your various scenes. You can add any number of different scenes and scroll through them as you're recording. On the right-hand side, this shows you the sources that are connected to each scene. So right now on this first scene, scene number 1, I have my plug-and-play microphone, I have my Logitech camera, and I'm capturing a window. That's the window that you see behind you that says My Lead System Pro up here. Okay. Next is this is the audio mixer. It lets you know, because you're going to want to be concerned that your volume, various volumes and stuff, depending on what you're doing. Those of you that know me, I love to sing, and I occasionally will sing a song, and I'll have an interesting background, and you got to watch your audio levels with that kind of thing. So let me get rid of this little notification and talk about the rest of the. This is your transition control. You can either fade or cut, and there are other transitions that you can add. And over here, as I said, on the right-hand side, start streaming, start recording. Studio mode jumps you between a single screen, this is your preview screen, or the two screens, so that you can actually see what you're recording. And then there's settings, and of course exit the program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the scene collection, and that's how basically how you save your work. So I'm going to start a new screen, and remember, everything's going to go blank after I name it. So we're going to call it scene for video instruction. Whoops, instruction. Okay, now bye. Okay, so now you're gone. Hopefully you can still hear me. You can still see the balance of the screen. But I'm going to take over here on the left-hand side where my cursor is, I'm going to start adding some sources to this first basic scene that they put in here. So over here in the source box, I'm going to add, first of all, I'm going to add the video capture device, which is my camera, and I'm going to call it the Logitech C920, because once I add this, it'll be available for others. Okay, let's see. Now I go over here and I actually choose the device, and I say Logitech webcam. There it is, and there I am. Okay, so that worked. Okay, I am not going to play with this now because you're going to see how I change it. But what I can do here is put it wherever I want it on the screen. I like it on the lower left. You can make this size any size you want. I prefer it somewhere around there, depending on the background and how much you want to show on the screen. you can raise it or shrink it, which is another thing that you can do with these scenes. You can make it big for one portion and then slow it, make it smaller for the next. Um, at the right hand side of the screen, as you can see, nothing is happening yet. So if I were recording or streaming, the world would see nothing. So I'm going to hit this transition button, and there I am over there on the right hand side. But we're not finished adding sources to this first scene. So now we're going to add the background, and that's called a window capture. There's also a way to do it from a browser capture or display capture, and that's where you're capturing either the contents of another screen that you might be using, or or a particular tab on your browser. So I'm going to say window capture here. Um, I'm going to leave that title as is and just click OK. And now if I choose window, it's going to show me all the windows I have opened up on my computer right now. So I'm going to go to this one here that says Chrome, and I'm going to choose it. There we are, and that's my Lead System Pro. And what's missing? I'm missing, okay? And why is that? Because in my sources, I have the window on top of the camera. And what I really want to do is put the window on top of okay? So now I drag that. The other way to do it would be to select it and use these up or down arrows. So, but we still have a further problem because there I am on the screen, but as you can see, and now you can actually see the green screen behind me here. Again, it's just a big piece of cloth that covers up my screen. I have it up there with Velcro, and I take it down when I'm not using it so that you can see my pretty wall. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this, the Logitech 920 camera, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose filters. Before I do that, you can see down here that settings button. That'll pretty much do the same thing. But I'm going to go to filters, and what I want to do is add an effect filter. So I'm going to click there. There's the Chroma key. That's the name of this technology. It's Chroma key filtering. So I'm going to leave that alone. The color selected is green because that's the color of the wall behind me. I've never looked at this before, but we might as well. Okay, so there's several different, but for some reason green must be the best color to key out. That's what it's called. You're keying out that color, so that when I close this now, well, there it is on the screen behind me. You can see once I clicked outside of the box and the perimeter of the box went away, you can see that it just filtered out what's behind me. And that works very, very well. Now, the one thing that's missing, if I were to be recording this right now through OBS, is sound. There's no sound. And there's several different sources for sound, so we're going to talk about them. So I'm going to add an audio input, and I want to use my plug and play microphone. And choose that, and over here, and there it is down